Welcome to the Tween to Teen Queen series number, who knows? I completely lost count of the numbers, but who cares, right? Um, Today I am here to say hi, mom and dad at home. Thanks for tuning in to these conversations, and I love to have these conversations live. I love to have these conversations up the road over a coffee. So just remember that I'm always available for that. The topic today is to do with death. So, in the last couple of sessions that I had with the girls, which have been amazing, 50-60% of the girls have randomly come up with this phrase: I'm scared of dying, I'm scared of death, I don't want to grow up because that means my parents would age and my parents would die. Tough one for me because I am a big fan of life, which means that I am also very scared of death. So I've taken some time to do a bit of research, listen to a couple of podcasts around what do we say to our kids, regardless of how we're feeling. We don't want to pass our fears to our kids, and I've got so many fears. One of the fears is death. So I don't want to say anything wrong. I don't want to create any anxiety around it. So I've been doing a bit of research, and I wanted to share with you what I found. If you have some ideas around this, I'd be so grateful if you can share with us. So stay in touch and just send me a message, leave a comment under the video box so that you can get to express yourself as well. Even if it's just like, I want to share this, I'm also going through the same. Maybe someone in your family is very sick or just been diagnosed and with a disease, and then you don't know how to talk to your tween queens or any children at home. What do I say? What do I not say? Do I say anything at all? So first of all, to understand that this is a typical age when the girls start to ask these questions, so it's totally normal. Even if nothing's going on at home, because this is when they start to wake up to the world. So they realize that they're separate from us, that they are looking for maybe a new identity, or who am I? And these existential questions come up, and one is death. So a couple of tips that I've got written down here for you is to use very clear, straightforward language, which is so hard, right? Because if we use terms like someone passed away, they're sleeping now, they confuse the girls more, because what do you mean by that? So you get the follow-up questions, right? Like, sleeping forever? Is she gonna wake up? Pass away? What do you mean by that? Is it done somewhere else? What's the meaning of that? So obviously kids have been exposed to death before, right? Maybe a bug, maybe a pet, which is actually a really good start for this sort of topic. If you have had a pet passed away, then it's a good starting point to talk about it and give them validation, right? Like, these fears that you have are valid, and we also share them, but also being a bit more positive about life, which is what I want to create in my sessions. And I'm going to show you in a minute what I have come up with. So I don't want to put down this, like, don't worry about that, it's a long time to go, because I want the girls to really celebrate life and live fully, right? And knowing there is an end, but every day is a new day and a new opportunity to step on these shoes and live life 100%. So again, using simple terms like died or death, so they can start to understand the reality of death without unnecessary confusion. That would be one of the tips. Number 2 is to be on the same page with your partner, and this is very important, particularly if you don't practice a religion. And this is when I find religions really useful. I'm a Catholic. I grew up in Argentina. I don't practice Catholicism anymore. I actually never did, but I had this thing growing up where I was taught that when someone died, this person will go to heaven, and they will always be around, supporting us, watching us, whatever it is. And that made me feel good. Then I grew up and started to explore other things, and I still think I believe in that. But my fear of death is maybe around, is my life going to be over? I'm having so much fun. I am so happy. Even when I have tough times, I just find them as challenges. I go over them, but I still want to be around. um, so if you don't have that religion at home that helps you and supports you, and the kids can go to church and have these conversations, then it's very important that you and your partner are on the same page. Basically, what are you going to tell them? So just get ready for it. If the question comes up, are we going to say that people go to heaven, that they don't go anywhere, whatever it is, that we live many lives, that we can become nature, which I love that concept, by the way. So you have to be prepared, right? If you don't have that religion supporting you. Number 3 has to do with acknowledge the fears and offer reassurance. So when kids express fears like not wanting to grow up because they don't want their parents to age and die, it's important to validate those feelings, as opposed to try to distract them from that, or say, don't worry about it, mom and dad still have like 50 years to go, whatever it is, because you're not validating, not allowing them to actually make friends with the concept of death. And this is when it becomes really hard for me in my sessions. So how can I get the girls excited about life and knowing that there is change and they are growing up and mom and dad getting older without feeling this guilt? I don't know. It feels like it come to me with guilt. Like if I grow up, my parents are gonna age and then they're gonna die. So after coming up with lots of ideas, I thought this was the best. I'm going to practice with them a visualization technique. And I'm going to ask them, obviously, to get them in a comfortable position, closing their eyes if it feels safe for them. They love when I go into this role of, facilitator. And after a couple of rounds of square breathing, which we practice at the end of our sessions, I'm going to ask them to imagine lying down. It could be on the beach, it could be at home, it could be on the grass in the park, anywhere. And covering them, there's this huge blanket that equals safety, love, warmth, reassurance, validation, love. Inside the blanket, I want them to start placing memories that they have had in their short lives. So maybe remember your first Christmas, remember your first big cry and mom, cuddle you when you felt safe with your friends. So memories, maybe when it has to do with parents and family memories. The first time you rode a bike, the first time you fell off the bike, how mom or dad or your brother or sister helped you and you felt safe, and the first time that you guys, watch a movie together, things like that. Memories of the last summer, the best day of the last summer. So they can start placing all these memories in this amazing, cozy, magic blanket. And then I want to start to say, okay, but that's not it. Now I want you to imagine memories that you're going to create in the future. So basically think about the day that, you maybe graduate, or you start your first job, or you move out of home and mom and dad are helping you. Imagine the day you get married and mom and dad are helping you and that they are with you. Maybe when you have a baby for the first time and welcoming new life to this planet, how you feeling, look around, what can you see? Basically getting really excited about what's coming up for them in this beautiful life, and feeling that their parents are accompanying them, right? And maybe saying something like, things change, we grow, new life begins, death happens, but this blanket that you're creating with all these memories are never going to go away. They're always going to be there with you, regardless of what happens externally. So every time you feel a bit of anxiety coming in, thinking mom and dad are not going to be here forever, get that blanket, queen, cover yourself with it, or wrap yourself with it, or give it a cuddle, and remember that all the memories in your life are always gonna be there for you. See how it goes. I think it's a great concept, that doesn't matter if we are physically around or not, the memories that we create are always going to stay in our hearts. And that's a good way to think about death, right? When people go, it doesn't mean they go forever. They're always going to be in our hearts with everything that we've created together, the life that we had, the days that we had. It's a bit nostalgic, I know, because it's hard. It's hard for me, so this is a big one. If you have any ideas, anything to share, please do. So remember, the tips that I found most useful were use very simple language when it comes to death, so that we don't confuse our kids. Validate their feelings, and reassure them instead of distracting them and saying things like, don't worry about it now, it's a long time to go. Because I think these are opportunities that come up when they open up to us with these fears. And then try to be on the same page with your partner or your family, extended family, when it comes to what are you going to say. If you don't have that religion, or even, like Maoris do the beautiful farewell, and they get together. I don't have that. We don't have that in our family. So it's always been a challenge to talk about death. I hope this helps. If you have anything to share, please do feel free to reach out. Wishing you a great weekend or week. I don't know when I'm going to post this, but big kiss, and I will be coming back to another Tween Teen series next week with something completely different.